I'm in the center of Copenhagen with Molly Wood from Cnet, Buzz Out Loud. We just went to see the Bang and Olufsen store, and I want to talk to Molly what she thought about this store. Molly, tell me, what was your experience going to the Bang and Olufsen shop?
Well, I mean, not surprisingly, everything in that shop was absolutely beautiful, but most of it was also absolutely baffling. They seem to be doing, well, they seem to be putting a lot of energy into what we call dumb devices, so TVs that are not online, not connected to the internet, movie storage systems that don't incorporate streaming, and then really this pretty remarkable sound audio remote control thing that looks just like an iPad, and you walk right up to it and it looks so delectable for your finger, and it's not a touchscreen. It's just a actual little wheel that you move and then click a button to go. It felt like an electronics shop in a parallel universe, kind of. It would be one thing if they said, if Bang & Olufsen said, we're going our own way, we believe, you know, that people want our devices, and if people were buying their devices, I guess, then that would be fine, you know? If they are having success with that market, then by all means they should continue, because there's no question it's a very respected brand. The electronics are stunning. It's a certain type of buyer, but in my opinion there aren't that many buyers who can afford it and who are willing to make those sort of technology sacrifices. Like, you can make it gorgeous and expensive, but you also have to keep in step with the rest of the world, because customers will come in and say, every other screen that I have I can touch, and every other device I have is connected to the internet, and it's hard to be an outlier.
We also saw the 3D TV. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
I will say that 3D TV was the most remarkable technology display that I have seen in a long time. It is pretty rare for me to be impressed by 3D. Mostly I find it kind of annoying, or I expect to be more wowed than I am. And this was the first 3D TV I've seen where I truly, my mouth hung open like a fish. It was embarrassing. That said, I could handle about 20 minutes of it and I wouldn't want it at my house. And I think I still have a little ring on my nose from those glasses. I think I'm good. It's like the best demo ever, and you couldn't live this way, you know? It's kind of like eating too much rich food or something. You can only handle a little bit of it. In fact, I had to look away because it got to be too much and I started to get a headache. Not to mention, this would be permanent if I owned these glasses. No. This is just enraging, because I live in a world where every single device I have, just about, is a touchscreen. If it looks like this design says touchscreen. The only reason this is not a touchscreen is if you're just not living in the same world as everybody else.
So Molly, where are we now?
Well, we're here at Elektronista.dk. Don't I sound like a local?
Yeah, I did.
And we're looking at Danish design, which is one of the things that I was the most excited to come and see during my time in Copenhagen. And it has lived up to every expectation. I love it here.
So what else have you seen since you've been here?
Not as much as I would hope, but thanks to Christiane here, I've seen Tivoli Park. I walked up and down Østergade. We went to Nyhavn.
Very good.
Which that's stunning, and I can't wait to go back there and take photos. I've been driving her crazy by taking a million photos of everything everywhere. And then we went to King's Park today and saw the castle, which was wonderful, because I'm in the middle of the Game of Thrones series, and so it made me feel like castles and kings.
So when you travel, what kind of gadgets do you bring with you?
Too many. My bag is always way too heavy. On this trip I brought, the two things that I always check for when I leave the house are my MacBook Air and my phone, which is my Droid X. On this trip I brought the MacBook Air, the Droid X, also a BlackBerry, so I brought two phones, my Kindle, and also my camera, which is a Canon Rebel T2i. So that's actually kind of lightweight, because I didn't bring my Wi-Fi adapter or like an iPad. Well, as you can see, it's extremely sexy and sophisticated. But I've been laughing because it's this BlackBerry that I borrowed from work, because I don't have a world phone. The CDMA carriers in the US some of the phones are world phones, but most of them are not. So I borrowed this one so I wouldn't have to pay super high roaming fees, and it's just this like chunky little BlackBerry. But I have to say that it makes me feel really important, because BlackBerries are so businessy that it makes me feel like a banker. Are you gonna tell my boss this? Yeah, I did a terrible thing right out of the gate, which is that I installed Facebook and Twitter on my work BlackBerry, and then I changed the Facebook settings so that instead of checking for new feed every hour, it checks every half an hour. And possibly I've been texting a fair bit since I've been here. I'm using some data, but I've only called 2 people. I think it's not a bad time to be in security, especially since there was that fraudulent certificate scandal recently. That I think is going to be a huge trend going into 2012, that we will probably see some very high-profile cloud security issues develop, and that security and privacy are a really good area to be in right now. Also, cloud services in general, and anything that involves streaming media, especially if it's something that involves storing your own media and streaming it back. I think all of those are really, they're really important trends, because everyone is going around with connected devices. So anything that you can come up with to be a part of what we're calling the post-PC era, this cloud storage and streaming kind of era, is a good place to be, as long as it's very secure. That's going to be the #1 issue of 2012. Messaging is huge, obviously. Group messaging has become a big deal, and location. So I think that you will start to see a lot more services that combine location with some sort of social element. So we've been talking all week about services that could let you have a very clear trail of where you went. In fact, I want to see a startup now that is like a recommendation service, so that I could be traveling here in Copenhagen, and I could make a map of everywhere I went, and then I could share my actual personal tour and be a tour guide for the next person who's coming along. I think that's a great startup idea. Someone should do that. I'm going to tell them that the rumors of it being the new food capital of the world have not been exaggerated. I ate at Geist and Fish Market, which I highly recommend. Both of them were amazing. And then also the new food market is fantastic. Really beautiful, beautiful stuff and really good food. And also pack a hair tie, because it's super windy here.